So this is going to be a sports one, okay? So if you're not into sports, I'm sorry. I'll be quick. Hopefully you still get something out of it. Stephen A. Smith, if you don't know him, big sports media personality. And Sue Bird, who's been pretty much the LeBron James of the WNBA, have been going at it. And over ratings. And if you don't know, the WNBA is in the playoffs right now. And Caitlin Clark's team has been eliminated like a while ago. And the ratings were really, really high, apparently. With her in the beginning of the playoffs, and when she got eliminated quickly, the ratings have come down, apparently. I don't know that to be a fact. That's just what they tell me. And apparently the media members, including Stephen A. Smith, have been focusing on that, the drop-off. And Sue Bird's like, yo, the ratings are still high. They're just, not as high with Caitlin Clark out, but why do you have to focus so much on the negative? And she called out Stephen A. Smith as one of the media people who have done this. And of course, Stephen A. Smith had to come right back at her, And I think Sue Bird said this on her podcast with Megan Rapinoe, her partner. I can't think of the podcast name. I'm looking at a headline that just says, "Watch your mouth," but that can't be it. That can't be it. I think it's called A Touch More or something like that. Something like A Touch More. And so I find it interesting. All right, Stephen A. Smith, of course, came back defending himself. It's like, it's news, ain't it? I got to report the news. I'm just doing my job, stuff like that, right? And I find the perspectives interesting, okay? Because Sue Bird's coming at it from a place of love of the game, love of these ladies who are playing, and like what she says is true. Like you don't have to focus on that part. But again, she's coming from a different motivation as a lover of the game, a lover of the league. And media people like Stephen A. Smith, they're about the clicks. They're about that's why they have to talk about Caitlin Clark and LeBron James, the Cowboys, stuff like that, because they're in it for ratings. And that's just a different motivation than someone who's coming at it from the love of the league. Now, they're both right. Stephen A. Smith is just doing his job, but he's acting as if what he's doing doesn't make the league look in a negative light. He's just saying, well, it's just the news. It is, but the way that he's doing it for ratings, right? So I find that those dueling perspectives, fascinating. Also, like Stephen A. Smith's job, and this goes for any media member who's shining light on a more negative aspect. There are other aspects to focus on, but they're focusing on a negative aspect. That's a gross part of their job. It's kind of like a defense attorney, right? Defending somebody who's a monster. That's a gross part of your job. And I feel like the lack of self-awareness on the part of the media people, not realizing that part of their job is gross, can be a problem. Can be. But yeah, man, I love to see, there's not as many people who are doing it for the love of the league and the love of the game. Normally you see players or former players doing that, right? I see Pat McAfee, another sports person. He does it for the love, and he's rarely focusing on negative stuff. Even if it's a negative story, he'll find the positive things in it. He'll brush across the negative, still reporting the story, but focusing on, he comes across with a different spirit, right? And it's cool to be able to do something that you love and also make money, right? As Pat McAfee has done. Because a lot of times people do what they love, they make some money, and then you have to play this game to keep making money, to keep elevating, right? And that game is gross. That's what I'm saying. The game that these media people, including Stephen A. Smith, play is a gross one, right? He's right, and big props to him, he's successful and all that, but there's a part of that that's really gross. And I think that is what Sue Bird is getting at. So I'm on team Sue Bird. That's the point. The point is the game is gross. I'm on team Sue Bird, even though I like Stephen A. Smith. And they really need to change the podcast. If it's indeed not Watch Your Mouth, it needs to be Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe come together, Watch Your Mouth, and they just kind of go at people. That podcast would be hot. So watch your mouth, Stephen A. Smith. Because Sue and Megan are coming for you.